Let's turn to Chuck Rosenberg. He's a former U.S. attorney and a senior FBI official, and now an NBC News legal analyst. Chuck, good morning. It's always great to see you. Since you and I last spoke on Friday morning, the indictment has been unsealed. So as you look through it, what's your assessment of the strength of the case here against the former president?
Good morning, Willie. It's a strong case. In fact, it's a very strong case. I've read it a couple of times. And when I was a federal prosecutor, I've drafted hundreds of indictments. Federal prosecutors make sure that there's some piece of evidence, an email, a text, a witness, some document to buttress every word, every sentence, every paragraph in an indictment. They need to prove it in court. Assuming that prosecutors did that here, and I'm sure they did, it's a very strong case.
And so former President Trump, as we heard in Garrett's piece, is either doesn't understand or is misrepresenting the Presidential Act, which requires presidents to turn that material over. He has made these comparisons, Chuck, to what President Biden did, even to what Vice President Mike Pence did. What is your assessment of those comparisons? Is there anything to compare there?
No, not really. I mean, in the most general sense, Biden and Pence and Trump all had classified information in places that they should not have classified information. That's where the comparison ends, Willie. Let's take Mr. Pence, for example. They found the stuff in his Indiana home. He alerted authorities. He helped them search for it. He turned it over. There was nothing remaining. There was no obstruction of justice. There was no attempt to hide these classified materials from the people who ought to take possession of them. There is really no comparison. They are black and white, night and day, whatever analogy you want to use.
And Chuck, so much of the action in the weeks and months leading up, everything we'd heard had been in Washington, but now we know the venue is in South Florida. What is the significance of that to you as a former prosecutor?
Well, it doesn't have that much significance to me, Willie, in the following way. The United States has jurisdiction to charge this case and to try this case. Venue is simply the place where that is best done. Most of the obstructive acts occurred in South Florida, so South Florida makes sense. I don't think people ought to be overly worried about where the case is venued. The facts are the facts. They'll assemble a jury who can be fair and will listen with open minds. And if the government can meet its burden of proof, whether it's in the District of Columbia or in South Florida, then Mr. Trump will be convicted at trial.
And that process begins on Tuesday at that federal courthouse where, for the first time in our country's history, a president will be arraigned on federal charges. Chuck Rosenberg, so great always to have your insights. We appreciate you being with us this morning. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.